I used to be good friends with a gal who had her own candle making company, and occasionally she would hire me to take photos of her products. I said yes. As a multi-passionate, I'll try almost anything that I think I could be good at. It turns out I'm not a bad product photographer. Anyway, I showed up at her house one weekend to pick up the next batch of candles that needed to be photographed. And as we were making some chit-chat, I told her that I was going to launch an Etsy shop under an entirely new brand. Something that would be unrelated to my current business, a new venture. I was so excited as I was sharing that I had been shopping at thrift stores and sourcing items. I was also thinking about selling some of my stock photography as art prints in the shop, and I thought about how exciting it all felt. She smiled and said, "I don't get it. People love your current brand. You already have a big following. Why are you going to launch something completely separate? That doesn't make sense. You should keep it all under one umbrella." Now, the first thing is that I didn't ask for her input. I didn't ask for her feedback. I just wanted to share something I was up to. Really, I was excited and I wanted to tell her and share in the excitement. But she let me down, like a deflating balloon. And so I began to defend myself. Well, I don't want it to be related to my current brand. It's an experiment and something that I'm trying out, I tried to explain to her. It's going to have a completely different feel, a completely different vibe, and I don't feel like it needs to be all under one umbrella. I think that people can get behind this as well. And I might even have a whole different audience for this particular brand. She continued to argue with me and tell me that it didn't make any sense to her, that I already had a great brand that people loved and doing something separate just was not a good idea. "You're gonna regret this," she said. At this point, I wanted to drop the box of candles and storm out, but I still was going to collaborate with her on this project, so I politely just removed myself. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go. And my partner and I, who was there, my partner at the time, who was with me, we turned around and we left. He was just standing there the whole time watching this whole thing go down. I forgot to mention that. So we get into the elevator and I am fuming. I'm like, this is so frustrating. This person knows who I am, knows that my whole spiel is that I'm multi-passionate, and still they're trying to tell me that I should just be doing one thing. Like, I don't get it. I'm saying that I'm multi-passionate, and still she's trying to put me in a box and confine me and make me be smaller. I don't get it. And do you know what he said? He said, "Well, I do understand where she's coming from." As the elevator descended down to the main floor, I felt a sinking feeling descending in me as well. It was a feeling of deep loneliness. The loneliness of being vastly misunderstood as a multi-passionate person. On the drive home, through tears in my eyes, I told him that whether he agreed with her or not wasn't the point, and that he was supposed to be on my side. We were supposed to be a team, and he was supposed to side with me when it came to this kind of stuff. He understood, but I didn't feel any better. Because now, someone who I considered a good friend and the person I was sleeping next to at night both showed me that they really didn't understand who I am as a multi-passionate person. Even if they had both thought, okay, this doesn't make a lot of sense, and, hey, maybe she needs to learn the hard way or whatever, they could have kept that to themselves. When you know the heart of a multi-passionate person, you know that we need freedom to experiment. We need to be able to try things out. Now, the funny thing about this whole story is the Etsy shop came and went. I could not sustain it. I did not like having something that was completely separate. It was too much. It was overwhelming. And, my friend might have been right. Maybe it would have worked out if I would have kept it under one umbrella. But I don't call this a failure, because I did it my way. And as a multi-passionate, that is so very important. So I'm sharing this story with you today because I want you to know that when you're multi-passionate and you share your ideas with people who don't understand, that's your opportunity to double down on your belief in yourself. It might be hard at first, and unfortunately, you might feel really misunderstood and lonely in the aftermath of interactions like this. But you will come out stronger and more resilient and more sure of yourself. So even though my Etsy shop didn't make it, it's not a failure, because that conversation gave me 2 opportunities to choose myself, to bet on myself, and to believe in myself as a multi-passionate person. So when that loneliness creeps in, just know that I've got you. I understand, and you'll get through it, and we'll get through it together. If you need support with navigating life as a multi-passionate who wants to do all the things but doesn't want to feel overwhelmed or swept up in the chaos that can create in your life, I want to remind you that I'm here for you. I have a coaching program called Prioritize and Thrive where we can work together on this. It will change your life, so don't join unless you're ready to make some big changes. I also have the Multi-Passionate Mastery Bundle, which is a self-paced experience. That is a collection of masterclasses and content that you can go through on your own. There's no live coaching with that, but it's still very helpful. I'll leave links to both of those things down in the show notes. That's all I've got for today. I'll talk to you soon.